to our YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Jess and my husband's name is Sam. But I thought it's been like forever since I've done a little girl talk video on my own, and I can't even remember if I've ever done a makeup tutorial for like my everyday makeup, and I feel like I always get questions about it. I think I've done it like on Instagram before, but I've never done it on YouTube, I don't think. So I thought I'd sit down and kind of show you guys what I do for my makeup while also answering questions. So we'll see how good I am at multitasking. But yeah, let's just get right on into it. I got sent some Kosas products, and so I've been using this. It's like a serum type spray that I put on before my makeup. And I think they've just formulated it because sometimes serums make your makeup peel. So that's super nice. So this one's like specifically to go under your makeup and make your skin like plump and stuff without peeling. So I think this might be a little pricey, but I do really like it, and it smells like roses. That's all the skin prep I'm going to do before my makeup. This morning when I got up, I cleansed my skin, and then I put on like a vitamin C serum, and then I put on a tinted SPF. And I've just left that on while I went to the gym and whatnot. And so now I just did the spray. Okay, so first I'm gonna go in with my foundation. I'm kind of in between two shades right now, so I'm mixing these two. This is like the Viral Egg one. It works super well, but I feel like their pump on both my bottles have broken, so I kind of hope they like fix that. But I do love this foundation. Okay, so the first question is, if you and Sam could relive your wedding day, what's one thing you would change? Okay, this is actually funny because this last weekend Sam's mom got married, and so we were talking a lot about what we would have done differently and whatnot. And the main thing we wish we would have done is hire a wedding day planner. Back then we definitely did not have the funds that we would have had now to spend on a wedding, and so everything we were doing was really reasonable, and we were trying to cut back. And so one of the areas that we thought we could cut back on was by planning it ourselves. And I will say, I think we did a really good job of planning the wedding, but day of and for rehearsals, I really regret not having someone there to just help coordinate and have everything running, because people are asking you a million questions on the day, how you want things done, who you want to do what, and all these different things. And I felt like I could not really relax that day because I was being asked so many different questions and stressing about if people were doing things right, or like in our case, we had to have people help drive from where people were parking over to the venue. Different family members were supposed to help do that, and some of them didn't come in time. And so if you could imagine the stress I felt trying to get ready while also trying to figure out how guests were getting over to the ceremony was very stressful, and something I just wish we would have had a day of planner for. Okay, next I go in with concealer. I usually either use the Tarte Shape Tape or I think this is the Armani like Luminous Silk or something like that. This one's a little bit less coverage and this one's more, so just depending on the day. I think today I'm gonna use this one. But I think that's about all I would change on the wedding day. I do wish I hadn't cut my hair. For those of you that don't know, Sam and I actually did like an intimate wedding with just our family in Yosemite when we actually like legally got married, and that was due to COVID. So then 6 months later, when restrictions had lifted, we then did like an actual wedding with all of our friends and family, and that's the one I wish I would have had like a planner for. But I do really like the way we ended up having to do that by separating them, because then I feel like when we actually got married, it was so special and so intimate, and that was the only thing we had to worry about, was just like getting to the location and just being able to focus on each other and not the chaos of the day. So I really did love that, and I would recommend doing that to friends if they wanted to set aside a different day to actually get married and then do a wedding later. I really enjoyed doing that. Okay, I feel like the lighting over here is throwing me off. I usually do my makeup in the bathroom, but foundation, concealer is done. So now I'm gonna move on to my blush and contour. Usually I use my dipstick because it has contour and blush built in one, and it is so good. I think I have a discount code with them that I'll put in the description for you guys if you guys want to try them out. But today I'm gonna be doing this Anastasia Beverly Hills concealer. This one's also really good. And then like whatever blush. This one's a ColourPop one. And the way I like to apply these so that they blend out really well is I put them on with a brush, so I don't put it directly on, because then I feel like I move my foundation around. So I like to put my stuff on brushes and then put it on my face. Okay, so someone asked, as a girl, are you supposed to wear a panty liner every day? I do feel like I know girls that do that. I personally have never been someone who has needed to or has to do that, which I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, if I should be concerned about that, but I've never had to do that. But I don't think it's a bad thing or like an abnormal thing if you do. I did see a different question asking if it's normal to have to wear a pad every day for discharge, and why is that word so weird? That is such a weird word. I would maybe ask your doctor about that, because I feel like that might be a little abnormal, but I also am definitely not an expert in that area. But if that's something you're concerned about, definitely talk to your doctor and ask them, because you want to take your health as a woman seriously. In case that's concerning, I would definitely talk to someone and just make sure that you're not leaking an excess amount. Okay, and then moving on to blush. Usually if I'm using like this blush, I'll just like put it on the brush, but she is out, so if I'm using a liquid one, I do just put that directly on my face, and a little bit usually goes a long way, so don't use too much. But on that theme of question, I had someone say, when did you get your first period? I got mine when I was 12, and I lucked out and just had it start like at night while I was home. And even then, I don't know why I felt embarrassed to tell my mom, because I don't know, I was like, oh, I'm starting my period. So I just like remember going to the bathroom and seeing some, you know, blood on my toilet paper, and so I went out and just kind of told my mom, like, I think I started my period, and like showed her, and she was like, welcome to womanhood. And then actually I remember like I quickly realized I personally just hated wearing a pad. Like I don't know, I personally feel like I'm wearing a diaper when I have it on, so I just can't stand it. It just feels really uncomfortable to me. I even hate wearing underwear most of the time, because I don't know, I don't like things like down there getting bunched up or whatnot. So anyways, I quickly realized I wanted to wear tampons, and my mom had me ask my dad to pick some up for me at the store. So I remember like asking my cousin, who was a little older than me, like which one she used, and she told me, and my dad came through, he went and like picked them up for me. That's because my mom had some, but she had like the cardboard ones that are probably a lot better for the environment, but as a small teenager, those were not going up there. Like I tried, and you know, it just stuck. So the little plastic applicators were way easier for me to use. So if you've tried a tampon and only tried the cardboard ones and didn't have luck, and you want to wear them, there's really like there's awesome, I use like an organic one now that still has a plastic applicator, and it makes it so much easier to insert. So yeah, there's some little info on that. But yeah, I just basically blended out everything until it looks how it does. I usually take the brush up here and blend out that contour. This brush is so good. This is also by Dibs, but just having a brush in this shape to kind of blend everything out is such a game changer. It works so well, and I tend to like a good amount of blush on my face, and then if there's any weird lines, I just take my beauty blender and kind of blend that back out before now we're gonna set. Okay, so I'm just gonna use a setting powder. This is the Kosas translucent one, or just get any setting powder. My skin is always super oily, so I use a decent amount of this. If you're someone who has dry skin, you might not need as much, but I just have really oily skin. But if you're like me, I have heard, a makeup artist told me that means our skin will age really well, because our skin is keeping ourselves hydrated. So while we might be greasy now, we're gonna be hot later. This is a sweet question. Someone said, what do you look forward to in your career as a female dominating in the musical space? That is so nice. I definitely don't feel like it at times. I am super proud of everything I've been able to accomplish, but let me tell you guys, the music industry is a tough industry, and it always just feels like you're chasing and just like trying to stay on top and make it. And I feel like that's also just like anything in the media space in general. It's just like really hard to stay current and be on top of trends and stay just in the now. So I am looking forward to just being able to keep doing what I'm doing. I feel so blessed, and like I'm living my dream to be able to do music as my career, and literally to be able to have done a headline tour is such a bucket list thing for me. I can't believe I was able to do that, and so that I just try to be grateful that I was able to do that, and that people came and that you guys cared enough to come sing every word to my songs. Like that is so surreal to me. So I'm looking forward just to being able to keep doing that, and then obviously the goal is to hopefully grow. Hopefully I feel like everyone's chasing that song that hopefully like kicks off their career and kind of like gets things rolling and like blows you up. So I feel like you're just going in when you write songs and trying to write the best song you can, so hopefully that happens, but it's never guaranteed. So I'm just along for the ride and hoping for the best. I'm also just trusting in God and his plan for me, because I just think I was made to do this, and so I'm just trusting in whatever that plan is. Next up, I'm just gonna go in with some blush and go over where I put my cream blush, because sometimes when you put powder on, I feel like it can get a little bit muted. So put some more blush on, can't have too much. Okay, next up I'm doing eyeshadow. This is the Too Faced Born This Way palette, but literally I feel like this changes all the time depending on just like what eyeshadow I want to do. It's usually just something neutral though, and this one has some great options for that. Someone asked if I have any tips for acne. Something that's actually really helped me is using Curology. This is not sponsored, but I pay for their like subscription, and I feel like that's helped me a ton with my acne, with just like using that consistently. And I also use a like CeraVe acne cleanser in the shower. Something I'm really bad about and struggle with is touching and like picking at my face. I feel like I have like some bumps here, and it's literally because I pick. So whenever I like go out of town or I travel and I'm not able to like pick my face, or I'm too busy and I don't know, not in my normal routine, I feel like my skin gets clearer most of the time. So if you pick like me, try your best not to, because it's not good. That's a habit I'm currently still trying to break. And then on top of that, there's also this like antibacterial facial spray. I'll try to link it down below. I bought it off Amazon. It's not that expensive. I think it was like $15, and it's been lasting me forever. But after I get home from the gym, or anytime you sweat, or just throughout the day, if you just spritz your face with that, it kills bacteria that starts acne. So I do that, and I feel like it helps. Also, change your pillowcase. The more often you change your pillowcase, the better, especially if you're like me and you sleep with your dogs. My dog likes to sleep in my pillowcase nightly, and I try not to let him, but I just wake up, he's like actually right here. I always wake up with him literally on my pillowcase. Like, he sleeps like this, and it's so cute. Like, I don't know what to do when he does it when I'm like asleep. So I try to change my pillowcase often because I'm sharing with him. Also, I tend to use like a pretty big, I think this is actually a concealer brush, but I like to use it for my eyeshadow when I just want to blend out something quickly. So I just usually put like a neutral down, and then I will take like a deeper shade and kind of just blend it into the crease, into like whatever shape you like on your face, but just super subtle. And then I'll also use like a smaller brush and probably put some eyeshadow along the bottom line, just so it kind of ties it all together. Okay, so I've answered this before, but I feel like people are always curious and you might be new here, so I'm gonna answer it again. Someone asked, were you scared to do it with Sam, like not knowing the specifics since it was your first time? So for those of you that don't know, Sam and I waited till marriage, so that night was our first time figuring everything out. Before I answer that, I'm gonna start doing my brows. This stuff is great. This is just like, has a little brush like this that I kind of just brush on, and then depending on the day, I'll either start out by filling them in, or this pen by NYX. If I just want like it to look more fluffy and not as dark, I'll just use this fine tip little like pen to kind of fill in. So I'm gonna do that while I answer this question. So I was definitely nervous. I think especially because like our family and everyone knew. Thank goodness it was just my family, like I said, when it was like the actual first time. Because I feel like if everyone was teasing and like I was at my wedding and everyone knew, me just being an anxious person, that probably would have made me even more nervous. And we were so exhausted after the wedding. Like I don't even know how we would have, like, I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, I was definitely nervous. Thank goodness Sam is so patient and so kind, and we definitely wanted just to make that moment between us super special. So I remember we actually like just showered together for the first time because I was too anxious. I was like, I wasn't feeling it. When I get super anxious and have anxiety, like I was not feeling very well. My stomach hurt, and I just was like, I just need a second to kind of regroup. Not because like I was nervous about like doing it with him, but I was just like anxious about just everything. Just a lot of emotions and anxiety. And I think just like, oh, our families know what's happening. There's just all these feelings or whatnot. But I just have to give Sam a shout out because he was so loving and so patient with me. And yeah, we just like took a shower for the first time together and like just hugged and stuff. And then, you know, eased into things, and it was so special. Obviously, your first time isn't gonna be like some crazy thing where you're like experts in trying everything, but like I don't feel like it should be. It's just like you guys learning each other and just like enjoying this special moment together. And yeah, it was perfect. Obviously not perfect, but it was like perfect the way it all happened. But to answer that question, yes, I was very nervous. I cannot multitask very well, so if my eyebrows look crazy, I'm gonna blame you. Just kidding. Okay, kind of on that topic, someone said, do you wear lingerie? There's this super great company actually that I think is based here in Utah, and it's called Mentionables. And again, not sponsored, but they do modelless lingerie. So if your spouse or significant other is shopping for you, they're not like looking at it on actual people. It's just on like mannequins, which is super cool. But anyways, I'm on their PR list, so I get sent periodically some new lingerie, which is super fun. But yeah, I feel like special occasions occasions, I'll wear lingerie because I think it's just kind of fun, and like Sam of course likes it. But yeah, something like crazy, I feel like just like special occasions, it's kind of fun to surprise him and put it on and whatever. So don't be nervous if you are nervous about putting that on for each other. I think it's fun. I think most of the time guys are fans, so I think it's fun on special occasions or on Valentine's Day, anniversaries or whatever, to kind of, even if they know, if you're like, hey, like, so I think sometimes it's hard to like surprise, but if you're like, hey, I want to put something on for you, just have them like close their eyes and you can go put it on if you can't like figure out how to do it in like a secretive way. Sam doesn't seem to mind if I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put some on, just close your eyes and I'll come out. So anyways, it doesn't have to be some like crazy planned thing, is my little 2 cents with it. But yeah, nothing to be ashamed of. You know, we're married. I put on some lingerie sometimes. Okay, next up, I'm just gonna curl my eyelashes. The next question I'm answering is a question about birth control. They said side effects and what is the most gentle on your body. So I've heard so many different mixed things. Everyone likes something different for themselves. When I was first looking into, you know, taking birth control, I originally thought I like wanted something like permanent, either the IUD or like I was even looking at the one that goes like in your arm, because I just like didn't want a chance getting pregnant and thought I should take something that I couldn't forget to take, because the pill like seemed like, I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm probably gonna forget to take that. Then I talked to one of my friend's moms and she suggested I try the pill first just to see how my body reacts to taking hormones before having something permanently inside of me, which I thought that was a really great thought. And she was like telling me which one my friend was on, her daughter. It's like one of the longest birth control pills that's been on the market, the most like studied and researched and whatnot. So I ended up going on that one. I think I'm on like a generic version of the original, but the one I take is the Tri-Low Sprintec. I originally tried just the regular Tri-Sprintec, which is just like a higher dosage of hormones. Like I take the low and it's like a lower amount of hormones, and the higher one kept making me really dizzy. Like I would wake up in the middle of the night and have to go to the bathroom and I would almost pass out coming back to bed, and I was getting like super hot and like dizzy. I just felt super sick, so I tried dropping the dosage and I feel like that worked for me and I didn't have any problems. And I've been on that one now, gosh, for like the 5 years, almost 5 years we've been married. So yeah, I've always just been on the pill. It hasn't been that hard. I just never switched off of it because it worked for me. I just set an alarm and it reminds me each night to take it. Every now and then I'll forget, but I haven't had any issues with not getting pregnant. It does kind of freak me out. We haven't really had, we had like one scare, but I just wasn't pregnant. So I don't know. Sometimes me and my sister talk about the fact that neither of us have had any scares, and we're like, hopefully that doesn't like mean anything, but it's worked for me. I really haven't had any side effects that I've noticed other than those I shared about getting dizzy and not feeling good originally. But I have heard from friends also that birth control is just terrible for you. Obviously putting hormones in your body isn't great to do. So I look forward to coming off of it eventually and seeing how my body reacts. Hopefully not too bad to not being on the hormones. I honestly didn't notice anything with my skin. Some people take it to obviously like clear up their acne. I don't really remember my skin changing, but I'm also nervous for that. I'm nervous coming off of it if my skin's just gonna break out, but we shall see. Also, I'm just putting on mascara. This is Lancome's Flutter Extension Mascara. Guys, this is probably worth the money. The mascara is so good. I'll also put some in the description that work really well and are really similar to this, but I do feel like this mascara is just so good. I think this is with their collab that they did with Olivia Rodrigo, and it is so good. It just doesn't clump and it applies so nice. But there's also some drugstore ones that I love, like Sky High mascara is really great, and then there's like Panorama Lash is also really good. So I'll link those down below for you guys. Some people don't like mascara on their bottom lashes, but I'm someone who feels naked if I don't have it, so I put it, oh, hate it when that happens. I put it on both lashes. And then I also do use a lash serum, but I tend to put it on in the morning so it doesn't make my eyes red. I feel like when I sleep in it, sometimes that happens. But this is the Swede one. I think it's an Australian company, and it doesn't have the, I forget the ingredient, the prostaglandins or something like that. It doesn't have that, so this one's not gonna take away the fat around your eye or anything like that. Okay, usually I just finish it off with like a lip liner or just like a lip gloss, but I got sent some new like lip stains from Pixie Beauty, so I thought I'd just try one of them out and see how they look, since I know like stains are so in right now. So I'm gonna try that out while I answer the next question. Someone asked if Sam gets upset that I write breakup songs, which is probably the most common question I get when I post TikToks about breakup songs, which I think is super funny because obviously everyone likes to read fictional books and movies and they don't like question that. But if I write a song that's like not about my life. I feel like people don't know how to handle it, which sometimes the breakup songs are. Like the song I wrote called Unsaid was actually about my brother, but it sounds like a relationship song because we just kind of write it in a way that might relate to more people. I can't talk and do this at the same time. This is super pretty though. But to answer the question, no, Sam probably cares the least out of everyone. I feel like he always likes the ones I write like that because he's like, oh my gosh, so many people are gonna relate to this. Like this one's gonna do good. So I feel like he does not question it at all because we're so secure in our relationship. And people are always like, when are you gonna write a song about Sam? I have written so many love songs about him that actually there's a bunch that are out. They just haven't always been like singles. They're kind of placed on the project. But this upcoming project, I've written a lot of love songs about Sam and I, so I'm excited for you guys to hear those ones. But yeah, just to sum that up, I feel like a lot of the songs that might sound like a breakup song are about my life in like an indirect way, or it'll inspire a concept, but then we turn it into a breakup song, even if it stemmed from a different kind of relationship or whatnot. And sometimes songs are about my friends' relationships or what I've witnessed from other relationships or reading or whatever. I feel like I get inspiration from so many different places that inspire concepts. Sam is not bothered at all. He's my biggest and best supporter, which I'm so grateful for. Okay, that stain is super pretty. We'll have to see if it lasts all day, but I'm gonna top it off now with my lip gloss collab. If you guys missed it, I did a collab with this company called Lennon. They're a small business and I just love them because all their ingredients are clean and organic and plant-based, so they're so great. This one's in shade Unsaid, and I'm gonna answer the last question, which I feel like we answer in every video, but someone said, any baby plans soon? We definitely want to have kids in the near future. I feel like if you would have asked us when we got married, we would have thought we'd have a kid by now, but with me pursuing music, it's just been hard to imagine trying to have a baby while doing that, so I feel like we've pushed it off year after year. So we'll see. We keep saying that we want to have a kid by the age of 25, which means we need to get pregnant next year. I don't know if I've said that in a video before, but that's what we've talked about, which is like kind of scary because I feel like every year it like sneaks up and we're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if we're ready, but we'll see, because we do want to still like be young parents. We'll see if it feels right next year. I know you're never gonna feel ready, but that's kind of a goal we've set, is to have a kid by 25, so we'll see if that happens. Okay, here's the finished makeup look. I feel like it turned out super pretty, so I hope you guys enjoyed all these little tips. Oh, I want to show you guys one last thing. If you have oily skin like me, I use this setting spray. It's pretty affordable. I do wish the bottle was bigger or lasted longer. I feel like I don't get that many uses out of it, but I only wear it when I'm like performing or I really want my makeup to last all day. This locks it in and I feel like I don't get as oily with it, so would highly recommend. This is the L'Oreal Inflammable 3-Second Setting Mist. It works so good. Okay, lastly, I'm just gonna do my hair. It's day 3 hair, so I'm gonna do like an updo, but I thought I'd show you guys because I learned recently how to do this super easy messy bun, and so I thought I'd show you guys how I do it. And this definitely works better if you have texture in your hair, which is why I didn't wash my hair last night, because I was like, oh, this would look really good in a little messy bun tomorrow. So first, you're just gonna kind of put it in as if you were doing a ponytail. I'm actually gonna get myself apart and then pull it back like this. That way I feel like it kind of gives it more of like a messy look on the sides. So do it like that, and then you can pull out little pieces if you want, like so. And then you put it up like you're doing a ponytail, but then on the last one, you're only gonna like pull through a little teeny part like that. So you just have like this little, you guys can see that. I try to make it pretty small, like so. And then you just take the ends and you're gonna twist them. You're gonna twist them, and then you're just gonna like tie them over each other like you're tying your shoe, if that makes sense. And then you're gonna like pull it through like that. And then you're gonna do that again in the back. Twist it and then take it and cross them over each other and just kind of tie them. Now my hair is super long. If yours is shorter, you can just like tuck the ends and then take another elastic and go over the whole thing. Mine's super long, so I tend to like do it a 3rd time in the front and then just kind of wrap them, tuck them under. Okay, so I just do that, and then you just kind of pull on it until it looks kind of messy. Sometimes I might have to do it twice if it doesn't like look messy enough for me. But there you have it. It's a quick, messy bun that you only have to use like 1 or 2 hair ties and just kind of like pull on it until it looks how you like. Anyways, I didn't plan to show you guys that, but I thought I'll just throw it in there in case anyone finds it helpful. Alright, if you made it this far, thank you so much for staying till the end. Do hashtag messy bun down below if you made it this far. Here's today's post notification shout out if you guys want one in the next video. You already know what to do. We love and appreciate you so much, and until next time.